So if I tell you a little bit about our family, well, there's three of us, M.A. and me and Michel. And he got his name from Michel because she's French, and M.A. means beloved in French. So she gave him that name when he was just after he was born. He was born, I don't know if you can see in this room, he was born there. I'm pointing almost where the microphone is. Well, actually, when he was 3 months old, we discovered he had a hole in the heart. So we had a minor surgery that didn't work at the time. It's called a balloon dilatation. Then we had a full open heart surgery at 5 months. And sometime during that period, he had a severe brain injury. So and he was actually totally blind and had no muscle tone immediately after the surgery. He was in a coma for about 2 weeks. If you see him now, especially if you see him dancing at a Miki or something like that, bouncing around, he's got phenomenal energy and heaps of muscle tone. So that's always, to me, a great joy to see how fit and strong he is now. Now, M.A. was 18. He was 18 in April. So he's very tall and...
handsome.
Well, handsome, I think he's handsome. Very handsome young man. One of the things we did was a patterning program based on the work of Glenn Doman Delicato, and they call everything a brain injury. So I sometimes refer to many different things as a brain injury, which is what it is, some form of either oxygen deprivation or lesion in the brain. Then if it's a Monday or a Thursday, Michel will take him to school and he'll do school activities. This is at a place called Jacques Thézard, which is in Amherst and Fulham. So he'll go to the school on those days. On other days he'll be going to adult education classes around the corner here, doing some independent living skills. On a Tuesday he'll go to the adult education centre and he'll see Wolfgang from Amiki, and he'll do dance dynamics with Wolfgang. Then at 12 o'clock Wolfgang will do about half an hour, 40 minutes of one-to-one with M.A. and they're working on a ballet warm-up at the moment. And that, for someone like M.A. who has to control his limbs, which he finds difficult, his concentration is phenomenal with that. The challenges he faces, I've never had to face anything like that, I don't think. So I've learned such a lot from M.A. I can't begin to tell you about acceptance. In the street, from time to time, you get, I don't know what to put it down to, ignorance, I guess. People who are judgmental about someone having a learning disability. And I get much more upset than M.A. does. He just kind of shrugs his shoulders to go off to meet someone more amenable. But I get really personally affronted. M.A. doesn't like being treated as if he doesn't understand. He understands more or less what anyone of his age will understand. You know, which he's a young adult. So he's got no problem with understanding. He's got a problem with focusing his attention and controlling some of his muscles and different bits of his body, you know, some of the time. M.A. he said himself, he wants to be, he said, I want to be a dancer and travel the world. He said, I'd like to be like Wolfgang. I want to go to different places. I want to show people how to do inclusive dance. This was, he did some of those about 18 months ago. And more recently he's said similar things again. And so I think if there was a way of supporting him to do that, and you know, he will need daily dance practice to get more of the skills, and also in terms of how it could be a business. But you know, education, inclusive dance, I think there's a need for an organisation or a company like Amiki in every borough. We get from social services some direct payments, but we were either the first or the second family in the borough to go for that, for direct payments for a young person when he was about 15, and that took about 15 months, and I had to find out about it myself and train the social worker how to do it and go through it and really push for it month after month to get it done. What is individual budgets? Well, I'm hoping it'll be, you know, giving control to people like M.A. To have full control over who's with them in their life and what they do in their life all day long and all night, 24 hours a day. Because it will make a huge difference to people like MA, like being able to go and stay with people who know him, respect him, and will communicate with him appropriately. But you know, it takes a while to build up those contacts, and I know some families will need the confidence to become employers, but it makes such a difference to our state of mind as parents. But also Emma gets a chance to interview them, and Emma will, you know, he's got very good interpersonal skills, I feel, and I've seen how he susses people out, like you know, some form of advocate, you know, phoning up a service or getting in touch with a service, or filling in an application form to get a piece of equipment, whether it's a wheelchair, whether it's a, you know, a light writer or something like that, or to get an assessment, you know, for a particular type of communication. That to me would make a huge difference, and that could happen through individual budgets. Well, I'm a treasurer actually of MenCap in Hammersmith and Fulham, and I mean that's partly because I am hopeful that there will be an opportunity for families and people with learning disabilities to be treated as equal members of Hammersmith and Fulham. And I see something like you know, advocacy that's taking place through Hammersmith and Fulham MenCap as being a really important part of that, because a lot of people don't have, well, either they literally don't have a voice, like in terms of words with MA, like many other people that, you know, don't have a voice either, or they're not confident to be able to use that voice in a way that will be listened to. Because people are not being given equal opportunities, and they need support for that. And part of individual budgets could be used in getting, you know, some form of independent advocate like MenCap to talk on behalf of that person, to go with them to housing, to where, you know, their voice needs to be heard, to say what their needs are, and to find out why they're not being met in a way which the law actually does say they should be being met. You know, each person with a learning disability should have equality of opportunity. That doesn't exist yet. You know, it's clear to me every time I go shopping with MA. You know, it's a very able-bodyist society, and there's not enough people speaking for us. And, you know, we need that support. I was saying about what you wanted to do, and what I said, what you want to do in the future, is that you wanted to be a dancer. That's right. And in fact, I remember I was saying before, you wanted to be a famous dancer. Definitely.
Even more.
Yes, even more. And you wanted to be a sort of inclusive dancer, just like Wolfgang. And that you'd like to travel the world like Wolfgang does. Is that true? Very definitely, yes. And what else? And you'd like to teach people how to dance like you do. Okay.